Hello, welcome to my channel A Book Forest. My name is Kim and today I'm going to be doing a review for I'm Afraid You've Got Dragons by Peter S. Beagle. So I read this book in July and I absolutely loved it. I gave it 4 stars. It was one of my most anticipated book for 2024 because I really love Peter S. Beagle writing. He wrote famously The Last Unicorn, so he gave us unicorns and now he's giving us dragons. So his specialty basically is doing fairy tale-esque stories, and definitely this goes into the fairy tale land. It starts off quite classically, like you think it's gonna be like pretty mild little fairy tale story. It starts off in a village with a royal family in a castle, but the main protagonist that we first meet is Robert. His actual full name is Gaius Aurelius Constantine Heliogabalus Trax, but he prefers to be called Robert. I think his parents had some high hopes for his future. His father was a dragon exterminator, so basically in this world dragons are like the rats or roaches of that world. They invade the houses and you have to get rid of them. Like they can be pretty nasty because they're poisonous and they burn things, so you have to be careful. So Robert's dad is dead and left him the family business, and Robert has like a mother and younger siblings to take care of. So he had to pick up the family business, but he hates it. He hates it profoundly. He loves dragons and he has to exterminate them. So that's pretty interesting for a start. You know that he loves dragons right away because kind of has adopted a few in his house, even though I think it's frowned upon and it's kind of a secret. So he has like a terrible life in a way because he's doing something that kills his soul. So right away that's heavy, you know. It's not as light or fanciful as I thought it would be, and that's a good thing because it made it more it made it deeper in a way. And also he's so basically he goes about his business and really terribly hating it, and there's some scenes that are quite shocking, very intense, very sad, and yeah, it got me really in the feels and I did not expect that. So that's a great thing. His writing style, Peter S. Beagle writes so well, and he makes me I get into his world and I feel like I'm there really. So it's the tone is very light at first and it's very sweet, but then there are some few moments that are quite intense. So the other protagonist I would say in this book is called Cerise, Princess Cerise, which it means cherry in French. So I thought her name sounded a bit silly. It's okay. So it's kind of a French country, I would say. Like, it's not a real country, but it's mostly French, so all the names are Frenchified, so, or Latin. So basically Cerise is like very young, a princess, she's interviewing her potential suitors and she likes none of them, so she just wants to hide in the woods basically and secretly learn how to read, because in this world, like the nobles don't know how to read, but the women and the peasants learn how to read. So that's strange, like a little turn on its head thing. And she meets a prince, a very handsome prince who's traveling in her neck of the woods, and she falls in love right away. Love at first sight. That's quite funny, and he's kind of like, I didn't really come here to court you, but whatever, we'll see. So he's a strange dude. he kind of is a prince of a very powerful kingdom, but he does not really think he can live up to it. His father is quite intense. He's a tyrannical, very violent, um, taking over other countries type of king, and his son is not like him at all. So that's a bit of a clash there too. So that's the setting, and basically once she meets this prince, Cerise is very intently, she's intent on having the castle clean because she's embarrassed, and so she needs a dragon exterminator to come because it's full of dragons. Basically, the walls are filled with dragons. So that's how it starts. I'm not gonna say how it ends or anything. Like you need to read it. It's really good. So what I really liked was yeah, the characters are quite deep. Like they're deceptively fluffy at first, but it doesn't last. It's lovely, and you kind of see where it's going. Obviously, it's not like reinventing the wheel or anything, but it gives you enough surprises that it makes it worth it. My critique of this, like the why I did not give it 5 stars, would be that it was a bit long. I think it could have been a bit shorter, especially towards the last third of the book. The climax, the conclusion, it was too long. I think you could have cut it a bit or just pushed all the events together, because there's lots of okay, this big event happens and then we travel some more, and this big event happens and we travel some more. So I'm like, we could have skipped a few of the travel or a few of the yeah. So, and the bad guy in this book is kind of I don't know, I didn't super like him. I thought he could have been a bit more, but other than that, great. Very imaginative. There's magic, there's objects, there's professions, and it's really fun. And the dragons are cool. Like some of them are like tiny and sweet, and they're like a little kitten in your house. And some of them are very, very scary. Some of them are like very noble beasts that are asleep or they're not in the world too much anymore, but they're like legendary. So yeah, and also like the best part of this book is definitely Robert to me. Like I loved Robert, and I loved his that's lovely dragons. I loved his character arc. He has aspirations. He wants to get out of that life, but he can't in any way because he has to support his family. So he's trying to find ways to stop killing dragons. And I loved how he discovers who he is. So yeah, I recommend this book. It's really well written. I'm not gonna say it's as good as The Last Unicorn because it's kind of difficult to beat, but it's worthwhile. So yeah, let me know if you've read it, what you thought about it, or if you're interested in reading it after my review. And yeah, see you next time.